Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. I brought you back without having done anything because I kind of, well, let's say I had some second thoughts about our original plans to make this area our base. What I wanted to do before I, excuse me, before I really settled on that idea was I'm thinking that might actually be it too. So what I want to do is I want to go around to one of the areas. This is where we first came up in, and if you remember from earlier on, there was this path going down here, and there also is a huge area over here. This is what I wanted to look at. I think this is what actually, when the creeper blew up last time, he, ooh, there's a ravine. There's some iron. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to be getting that iron as soon as possible. But I wanted to check out this area over here because of the dome-like shape of it kind of lends well to base of operations. And it looks like there's a ravine that cuts through here. I gotta plug this water up. And hopefully that spider, he's gonna want to tussle. So definitely. Spiders aren't smart. Okay. Yeah. I see a bow, so that's also a dangerous sign because arrows have a knockback effect, and the last thing you ever want to do is get knocked back into. And he's shooting at us. Well, what we want to do. Oh, hey. Okay, we're gonna have to fight him. Arrows and bones. I'm not too worried about that. But I do want to get up in here without dying if possible. And for the time being, we're just going to make a bridge across, light this area up. Yep, sure enough, that's that hole that we saw, and this should connect us back to this area here. Okay. Well, it looks like for the most part that's the extent of this cave system. There may be a branch or two that we have to hold shift so we don't fall. And yeah, we're gonna want to go in here and get down here, which means we're gonna need to block this lava off. Oh, hey, remember the bridge? We built a bridge for a reason. Yeah. I'm gonna noob out on you guys already. But, we're gonna need to gather this coal. And some more steaks. I mean cows, sorry. No, I'm not. Alright, lava. Yeah, I think something I haven't done before, and I think I may have to kind of do this time around, is build my base of operations throughout this cave system in this mountain here. Basically all that's going to be connected, sculpted, shaped, and on second thought, it doesn't lend well to all aspects of base of operations that we're looking for. I mean, there are, of course, plenty pros to it. The obvious cons that I can see are indoor farming. I don't really want to do, and as far as building a permanent base of operations, I don't really want to have to do a butt ton of excavating. The excavating I do, I want it to be in the process of mining, trying to find sweet loots. I don't want to have to dig away a bunch of crap. In fact, I would almost rather build a base on like the plateau behind here, or anywhere on the savannah, actually. You know, one of the nice things about these plains and savannas type areas, you can see what 3 different biomes meet here. But for the most part, a lot of it is relatively flattened areas anyways. I don't mind a little elevation change, but when you're dealing with something like, you know, this mountain, or, you know, big hill, whatever you want to call it, that's a lot of excavating. It's a lot of... You would think that like 2 double chests full of dirt or cobblestone sounds like a whole lot, like you might not ever get that. You'd be surprised how quickly you do get that amount of material just from having to excavate out and flatten areas. Plus, I don't really want to confine ourselves. I mean, we're going to be going to the end, so we don't really even know which direction that is from here at all at this point. We're going to have to fight some Endermen. We're going to have to go to the Nether and get blaze powders. Make some Eyes of the Ender. And then we can begin to get an idea of which way we're going as far as pursuing the end and the Ender Dragon, because we're pretty much gonna take steps along the way to the end. So I don't think it's gonna be too smart to get too crazy early on. I think we should kind of build a small base, and as we move one step closer, move up, you know, a little bit bigger base, and as we start to home in on where the actual end is, and we get an idea of exactly where most of our attention is going to be concentrated, then we can really start to establish a big home where all the adventure will come out through. And I just realized it's nighttime and we're about to get jacked up by some zombies here while I'm waxing poetic about the end. We need to survive tonight before we can even think about getting to the end. And we are under siege. And I don't even have a sword. I'm using a pickaxe to fight. So that's probably... oh gosh. Oh man. So yeah, it helps to pay attention. There is an infected villager already. Which, but if you haven't ever seen it done or done it yourself, I can't stress enough how awesome I think it is to convert infected villagers back to normal, healthy villagers. It's just the whole process. It's pretty intensive, I guess. At least as far as Minecraft things go. I mean, it's not as intensive as building a computer out of redstone or anything, but it's definitely complicated and involves some brewing, involves some fancy crafting and fancy materials. But just kind of the whole excitement of the process of capturing them and, you know, hitting them with a splash potion and then feeding them the golden apple and watching them shake and vibrate and struggle with the curing process. And how come none of these guys want to give me a bow? It's just not cool at all. No. Don't worry, buddy. No steaks. You're not going to be a steak tonight. Probably a good idea to take a nap here. All right. Yeah. So pretty much. Well, I want to go to the top of this hill. I want to get on top and get one final look at our area here. And yeah. Sorry, it's just funny to me. Okay, so there's desert that way, at least a pocket of a desert. We'll have to see how extensive it is. More desert, plenty of acacia, just like a regular plains over here. I see a nice cave to explore, lots of exposed lava. Plains. You know, our render distance is set pretty low. I want to be able to keep the frame rate as good as possible and give as decent graphics as possible. If you'll notice, I have the bobbing turned off. Honestly, whether or not it would affect my frame rate, I just don't care for it. Because I don't know, I don't remember what it's actually called, but it's kind of the what pigeons do when their heads are bobbing. They're actually like, it's like a steady cam kind of thing. They are compensating for movement and keeping their vision steady. And I think to a certain degree, that's what we believe humans do to some extent. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but it just feels more natural for me for it to be a steady motion. My vision doesn't really blur when I'm moving around. My eyeballs track. They keep centered and they can keep focus. And I don't have to feel like I'm bobbing, and that's why I think I have it turned off here. It just feels better for me. I'm sure it helps the frame rate as well, so that's always a good thing. Poor guy, he's trapped. I can't help you, I'm sorry. It's some interesting landscape. Again, I don't find it too important to focus on, you know, which spot we're going to build on around here, because I don't think we're going to be around here, you know, all that long. We have a goal in mind. The goal is to get to the end, and that's what is going to drive our building choices. So, like I said, I think it's going to progress in steps. Small base of operations early on, and get progressively bigger as we get closer to the end. I can say, though, that we are not going to be looking hard for sand if we need it in this series. That is just there's a lifetime of sand all around us. I haven't seen any indications of anything like a village yet either. Not that that really matters. I don't have any emeralds. I don't plan on trying to spend a lot of time getting emeralds either. One of the things that I've done at least twice now, and I know I'm going to do it again because it's just so much fun, is actually basically building my own village from scratch. You know, setting up an area near where my base is, and basically not replicating the NPC villages that Mojang has created, but just building little buildings that I think they would like. And what is that exactly? Oh, an optical illusion. Just the way that was set up, it kind of looked like in the middle there, these look like two little legs of a skeleton or something, or stalactite, but trick of the eyes. Yeah, so okay, that was a fairly ominous sound. Surprisingly well lit for a dark cave, and I'm just gonna make a few torches for now. Just I can see, but I don't really care for mobs spawning on us. And it's a general rule of thumb, and it's not something I follow, you know, dogmatically or anything, but I tend to try to keep the torches as I'm exploring on the right, and especially when I'm definitely not familiar with where I'm going and how deep it may go. Like something like this, boom. Once I get to the end, it's like, okay, fine. It doesn't matter anymore, but I like to keep it on the right so I can at least find my way back easier. Doesn't always work, but for the most part, it at least helps. I'm sorry, I can't pass up the coal. We would have had a stone pickaxe if I hadn't been using it as my main offensive weapon. We need to get back to that spot where we saw the iron and at least get an iron sword going. That's actually more important early on than an iron pickaxe would be. I mean, there's all kinds of people who can start a game and within 10 minutes have diamond. I can't do it every time, but I have done it myself. Getting back out to the surface with that diamond is a different story. I've done that, but that's not as easy. But it doesn't really get us anywhere in this survival series. I'm gonna stop the coal for now, just to get back to where we started this again. The sun's about to go down as well. I want to get back to our hole in the rock, basically. Hi, sheep. Interesting. Okay, I think that's from the beginning of the series. And then if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is where we came in. Okay, so yep, and just down here. There's more coal to be had in here. Get another torch in here. So basically, episode 2 has been just a confirmation of what we decided at the end of episode 1. I am gonna probably just build our initial base in this little dome. We're gonna do that in baby steps as well. I'm gonna do some basic sculpting, basic setting up, and I'll bring it back. And when we start to actually break it into areas like sleeping quarters and workshop areas, furnace areas, brewing areas, enchanting areas, possibly. I don't know if we're even going to get that far, but definitely the basics. We'll have a storage area. I'll bring it in for all of that, and we'll decide how we're going to go about those things. But just as a basic setup, I'm probably going to just skip, and I'll bring it back when all that's done. I'll do that off camera. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you after all that's done. Until next time, goodbye.